So one of the phrase that, oh my God, it hurt me so much. Well, actually, no, it doesn't hurt me anymore. I just think it's funny. This when she said, "You always do."
You always do.
She's so good at it, you know. And I explained to her. I said, "Well, it's because you never do, you know. That's it. So, and that's the same thing. You never do. So,
You always and you never.
yes, you're always on you never. So,
Those are both tools to express repeated feelings and emotions and behaviors and patterns that you're noticing, but there's never always or never in anything.
that's right. Exactly. So she would say, you know, ladies, you did that a lot. You know, I don't say the gentlemen don't do that. Okay. I don't say that gentlemen, you don't do that.
He tends to always separate what men and women do.
No, I never do that. I just talk about the reality.
His reality.
Yes, yes, yes. So, never. The word, those two words are so powerful and so bad because
I always love you, baby.
yes, and I never doubt about it.
That's the perfect way to use those two words.
There we go. That's a good way to do it. Now, the way it was not good to say that, you always leave the trash in the middle of the house, you know,
Yeah.
and she would say,
No, I don't. I picked it up yesterday.
okay, you know, but she believed that, you see, and I would have to say, no, you never do it. So I use both right there, right? Now, just remember that those two words, you know, cut yourself. You need, it is not, if she said that always, you always,
Let's talk about why these two words are damaging, why these two words can be extremely damaging or extremely helpful in your relationship.
yeah,
Anytime you blame someone for being a certain way, especially in a world, this reality changes all the time.
Yes.
If there's anything you can guarantee, that things are going to change. And when you try to fit someone in a box of always or never in a negative way, they're going to start fulfilling that vision that you have of them because they're going to feel like they're defeated. They're going to feel like no matter how much they try, you're never going to see it, and they're going to feel like there's nothing they can do to please you. So if you say you always do this bad thing, they're going to be like, why am I even trying? I'm just going to do it anyway. Or if you never do that, they're going to do the same thing. However, if you start honoring yourself and honoring them and really understanding that there's a new opportunity in every single moment for someone to act differently, to prove you wrong, but according to what habits or patterns that you're holding in place, holding them in place with. Let me explain that a little bit because I think that was a little bit far out there. In a relationship, you always have 100% between two people, which means I have 50% of the relationship in a healthy relationship, and Louis has 50%
oh really?
of responsibility in the
Wow,
relationship.
good to know because I feel sometimes that I
However,
75% to make you happy.
However, if I grew up in a way or if I have false belief systems that make me feel like I cannot take up space in the relationship or that I can't make the decisions for the couple or anything that diminishes me whatsoever, I can only hold 20% of that relationship, for instance, and the other partner, in order to stay with you, is forced to take up the other 80% because it always has to equal 100%. So if you're holding your partner in place with the belief system that you have, that they are always a certain way, then they're going to always have to hold that space and they will never have the opportunity to change. Actually, they can change, but you will never see it. So you will never believe that they have changed or are capable of changing. So that's why this always and never language can be extremely detrimental to a relationship. However, if you make an agreement with yourself to know that everything always comes from love, and to insist on that in every moment, and to insist on every behavior and everything your partner says to you comes from love in a certain way. Now, I want to exclude physically, these abusive relationships. You need to get out if that's the case. You don't need to be looking oh, how this hit came from love. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about adults who are in a relationship and they debate and may have some arguments here and there that aren't physically abusive. So that said, if you go back to always assuming, so we're going back to assuming and always, that love is at the core of all of this, and that you are always deserving of love, and that if you find anything that is outside of always receiving and recognizing love, that you both need to take a break and you need to get back to that place where you can find that before you continue interacting together.
What I like a lot about what you just said about always and never is the fact that it's basically there's no progress. Yeah, if you say you always, I mean, no, I don't always. Maybe I used to, but not anymore, because we work on a relationship and now I don't do that anymore. And same thing, never. Those two words anyway, this is so crazy because they're so opposite, but in the same time they mean exactly the same thing, because they have the same reaction to the person that you use the words towards it. So in conclusion, of my opinion of these two words, always and never, be sure that if you use it and you realize you use it too fast because your mouth went too fast, if you can have your brain reacting right away after that and say something funny. Like, for example, that happened to me. Then I said to her, well, you never do that. And I would look at her and I said, never. And because I realized that I went too fast. I was supposed to say, baby, why you didn't do that? It happened too often. Eventually you can say that, but don't say
I
never.
noticed this pattern in you. Can you explain it to me?
Yes, exactly. I noticed that pattern. Why exactly? Okay? We hope that those two words are going to change in your life, and you're going to use less and less and less and less and less and less and less.
For the negative things and more and more and more and more for the positive.
For the positive, yes. You're always so sweet with me, you never disappoint me.
You always love me.
Yes.
My life is always amazing.
Yes.
I always stop anytime I feel bad to make sure that I'm okay within myself before I move forward.
But I'm ready that you always let me win a pool when we should pool.
That's not happening. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you learned a lot, had a great time, maybe saw yourself in some of these and have some tools to help yourself out of uncomfortable situations.
Remember one thing, you can ask ChatGPT, AI, anybody, any AI tool to help you with relationship. Well, it will be logical to do that. But the thing is, ChatGPT was not married, was not in relationship. ChatGPT is somebody, something, not somebody actually, something who answer for what exists on the internet. Here with us, what you have is the reality of life. Our relationship went from crazy in love when we met each other. We did a lot of shows all over the world together.
Because we're professional dancers.
But
we were also professional arguers.
Yes.
And people bet against our relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially when we got married, they're like, it's not going to last.
Yes.
Because we were like this all the time.
Exactly. And we were on the dance floor sometime arguing so hard that the people were embarrassed to be on the same floor than us, So, and here it get on the place where you don't want to be. So what we're trying to explain right there is this. With the real deal, we are not telling you. Yes, we experienced. We've been together for 26 years. 27 years pretty soon. Yeah, that's 27 years. And so it was not easy. We had argument for a long time. And the last 5 years of our life, there's a mindset switch what happened. And that mindset switch happened because we have experienced before. Some young couple have trouble to make it sometime and don't understand how to make that switch because they don't have enough life experience. But we're real and we are so in love with each other. People think we met each other 2 months ago.
And we're going to share that experience with you. And if you have questions or if you have something in your relationship that you want to work on, comment below. We'll read the comments and we'll try to do some videos for you.
Exactly. Just for that. And we appreciate very much. Check the next video.
And like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.